Afternoon, or midday. No, it's not 12 o'clock yet. A bit of day, a bit early, as usual. It's going to be earlier than late. One of my favourite subjects today. I'm going to put some colour on this one. This is class 11. I'll be doing painting in the style of tomorrow, and then that'll be it for a while. I'm going to leave the class going, the group open, and might even open it up to the public for a bit. People can have a look, it's good promotion. And then if we start back, well, I do have people asking me, if you want to start back, if we start back, then I'll open it up again, and we'll come to some arrangement with how many classes I'm doing. I think 12 classes. It's quite a lot, 3 classes a week. So, you know, if you were going to a class, do it once a week, for instance, you do 2 hours with the group, you know, so that would be it really. So perhaps 2 a week, or 1 a week would be better. Just charging the same kind of fee really, but it was getting a bit too much doing it 3 times. Okay. So we'll have a look at what will happen in the future. I never know. So I'll be doing this lovely subject today, this lady, and we're going to put some colour on first. Now, it doesn't really matter where you put the colour. I'm working on lining paper, and it's got a coat of acrylic gesso. Okay, not too thick. Keep it all over the paper. Don't miss any paper. And then when you put the glaze on, it will stay on the surface, and you'll be able to rub it out to the white gesso underneath. We're going to put charcoal over the top when the colour's dry. Yeah, we're going to glaze it again when we've drawn the figure and used the rubber to rub out the highlights, and then we're going to rub out the chiaroscuro effect of the figure using a damp cloth. Okay. So we use the rubber first just to give us our lights and darks, excuse me, our highlights, and then we're going to seal it just with a glaze, not seal it with fixative, then a glaze, yeah, and then we're going to rub out the glaze and the charcoal back to the colour underneath. So that's the idea behind it. It's just an extension of what we do with the portrait. Okay. So yeah, we never know how they're going to turn out. I'm not after a kind of, you know, perfect kind of photorealistic image. We're just going to put some colour on. Anyway, I was thinking about colour. It's entirely up to you what you use really, but I do like yellow, sienna, and I don't like using yellow quite a lot because it makes you look sick. So but I'm using yellow, sienna, and purple for this one, and I'm going to have the yellow and the sienna and the purple in this kind of order. So we start with the warm first, then the sienna, and then the purple, yeah, to the bottom of the picture. You don't have to do the whole surface, you can just do the shape where the figure is, okay, and then leave some of it and create textures underneath, and take it from that. Alright, I think we're online, okay. Yep, oh, got 2 people. So get my big brush. I've got my yellow. Now we're using acrylic paint. Again, Galleria, okay. Galleria acrylics. I've got a big brush for putting the colour on with. I've also got a big dry brush for blending, which comes in handy quite a lot because you don't want water on when you're blending. You want to take it off. So a dry brush helps. So I've got the cadmium yellow, or process yellow, burnt sienna, and the purple. We just have to be careful that when we put the yellow on, it's clean, and then we put the sienna on, and that's clean, and then our last one is going to be the purple. So I don't want to use the same brush. I'm going to use a different brush and just mix that with some water. So I've used a little brush, put that in, okay. So again, I can pick up some colour, take off the excess moisture, and then use this. So I'm going to colour this first, okay, and we're going to do it like this. So I've got these lovely worms in there. I don't want to, you know, have them too thick. You want to blend it. Then we can pick up, need to get rid of the colour on the brush, and then we can pick up some purple like that, and we can blend it a bit because you want the purple to kind of blend together. You can put it in the background as well. It's quite interesting. Look, you know, it's purple tone, and where they meet, you see, we can either blend it together or we can leave it like that. But I'm going to blend it. I'm going to blend it a little bit. Yeah, so that'll be okay. And then so we get a little brush, and then I'm going to blend it here. I think it goes purple, you can see. So if you did it with a damp brush, it would just start running and bleeding, and then, you know, it wouldn't dry, because we want this to dry before we go over it. If you want to create textures, that's fine. You know, enjoy yourself, that's the main thing, you know. And we've got this lovely colour of yellow, sienna, and then purple, okay. And then we can dry that off. I've got my trusty old hairdryer in the corner, yeah. I don't use one myself, except for drying paint, okay. So, not a lot of water on that. Dry your brush off again. I need that later. And then get a hairdryer. So we need to make sure it's dry. Really dry. Otherwise, the charcoal sticks to it and you can't rub it out. Do you hear that? If it's not thoroughly dry, the charcoal sticks to the wet surface, and then it goes jet black and it's harder to remove. So really you want it to be dry. I've got a big chunk of charcoal, I've got some compressed for later as well, and I've got nice negative shapes around this figure, but we can use colour, we don't have to use charcoal, we can block that in, kind of thing. And then I'm going to cover it. So I want this colour to come through later. The head, the shoulders, yeah, her arms, and then she's going into this purple tone, which should look quite nice because you've got complementary colours. So the purple and the yellowy gold should complement each other. Okay, so I'm going to cover the whole surface with this willow charcoal. I might just leave the edges, and then just create some nice, some nice darks down here, just at the bottom, and we can leave some of that light there. Doesn't really matter what goes on. Yeah, I've run out of charcoal, so the stick. Try and get the big sticks got that one as well, mate. If you get the bigger, thicker sticks, you'll be able to hold it properly and do it instead of picking it up like I'm doing now. I've got a box full of thin ones actually, this one, which is unusual, but anyway, a nice big chunky one there. So we'll use that for the bottom. And then we're going to blend it. So what that does, it just knocks the picture back, okay? You can knock it back up there, and it just knocks the colour back, the tonal value back of the colour. You'll still see it through the picture, through the charcoal. That's the idea, and then when we rub it out, you'll have really bright colour. Do not fix it. Alright, we need to remove this. Don't fix it yet. Wait. Okay, and then we're going to sketch. Sketch figure. Clean your fingers, get your damp cloth, clean your hands, stand back. Okay, I've got that nice warm glow. Might be nice doing a landscape doing this technique. Anyway, you experiment with it. That's all you have to do. Chunky charcoal. Again, nice stick. Something a bit thinner, really, because I don't want it to be. I just want to do over this one, not blocking. Okay, very difficult finding chunky sticks. Anyway, I've got this one. So a head, as we measure the head from the top of the paper, I'm going to come down a little bit as well from the top of the paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 or something like that, or 6. So if I do one, if I draw a head or an egg, I've got the face on this one. We don't usually have the face on. Okay. So if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. It doesn't really matter down here because it disappears. So I want that to kind of disappear. So I've got my egg shape, like that. That's my 1, okay. My 2 is going to take me to the wrist, to that wrist on the arm, on the right hand. And then my 3 is going to take me, so it's good for proportion, down to the top of the thigh there where the hip is, so that's not bad. So then I've got this shape. So because it's features, we've got the head's tilted, like that, so we tilt the egg, like that. We put a 3/4 view in because it's she's looking to the left. Then we've got a straight line, so we can put a straight line in the middle, there, more or less, 90 degrees to that one, okay, there. And then where they touch, middle, that's the side, that's this left eye, and the hair's going to come back past this on the back of the head, can you see? So we've got the left eye there, and that's, we can just see the dark of it actually. And then the nose is about halfway. We've got this lovely shape from here to the nose, okay, and the nostril. So it's not as bad as doing a portrait. We just want it to make it look like a figure. And then we've got the shape of the chin and the bottom of the chin, like that. And then the angle of the jaw. So again, we've got this shape, and then the angle of the jaw comes past here, like that. That's quite dark. You're probably having difficulty seeing it. It's not going on very well. Eyebrow, and then the top of the head. So a hair is hanging down like that, and then it comes in. So it's quite dark there. So if you want to block that in, that's good. Block that in, that's the shape of a hair. Okay, then we can get rid of the lines in the face, under the face, around the sockets, things like that. And that just positions the eyes. Don't make the nose too big. The top lip, bottom lip, like that, and the chin. Okay, so you've got to looking down, that's all. You don't need to do any eyes, just to make it look down shape of the head. And then here we've got the hair, which is coming past the eye, and then it goes that way, and then it goes to the back of the head, and then it comes up at an angle, okay? And then this is all dark as well. So we're just adding the contrast at this stage, like that. We've got this lovely shape of the parting in her hair as well. Get rid of the lines. You know, we don't want any lines really. We can start using a bit of a tissue, and then we've got the jawline, which is like that, which is nice, and then the hair again, nice and dark, and a bit of light on it later. So that positions the head, okay, which is what we want. Using a bit of light. Looking at the shape here now, I've got this bit of a dip, and then the shoulder. So the shoulder's about there. Okay, so I'm coming out from the shoulder down. If I kind of drop a line from the shoulder to the elbow, which is that angle, you see, shoulder, elbow, like that. And if I measure it where the elbow is, it's 1, 2, 2.5, something like that. So it's 1, 2, 2.5. So you're around about there, where this elbow is going to be. So this will give you the shape of an arm, like that, and then the inside of the arm, don't forget to give her muscles, and then this wrist, which is on number 2, so it's 1 head, 2 head. So the wrist is about here, just above number 2. You see the position? You can draw a line from the shoulder to the wrist, and then we get the back of a hand. The fingers, always draw a wedge shape like that, the shape of your finger and the wrist and whatever like that, and then that goes into the rest of the arm. So here we've got the shape, this negative space, and then it comes around there, and we get the elbow, which is kind of nice and angular, because that's the bony part of the picture, okay, where you get the elbow and the wrist, don't forget, nice thin area just about there, and then we can take this down a bit actually, might be a little bit longer. You know, just keep comparing the lengths and shapes of things as you work your way down, because from here then it comes off the picture, because that's the cloth that's hanging. Okay, get rid of your lines as you go if you want, you're working out, so you don't get lost. Might be a little bit too close, so I'll move it over a bit, because we've got this shape of the fabric, which is all of this sheet. So we've got this sheet shape, which is in between the thumb, which is there, and just goes under her arm here, you see, like that. So we can keep that shape. Again, we're doing fabric, so it's quite nice to do fabric with this technique. This is a little bit darker on the inside of the arm, so keep that dark. And then this is the crease in her arm that comes round to the elbow there. This is a bit darker. Negative space, which is the background shape, which is there. We can block that in later. For some reason this is not going on very well. Get another stick of charcoal. And then on the neck, I've got the neck kind of curving, and it's curving out there. Just keep it thin, and then it curves, and then we've got the angle of the shoulders, which is that angle. Can you see? So you curve, and then we'll go this way, and then we'll come this way. So again, you've got the socket there, socket there. Keep the shoulders less than 2 heads, so you want 1.5, okay? You don't want 2 heads. Then we drop a line down here, because that's that other arm, which is more or less going straight down. So we come around the shoulder, the side of her arm, which is curving a little bit and disappearing, and this hand there, like that. Let's put that finger in because it's quite important. This hand and this hand kind of nearly touching. Okay. Here. So we've got a shape like that, wedge, the fingers, and she's holding this drape across her, like that. So we've got the finger there, which is just like two shapes like that, and then the bit of knuckle and the distance in between. So again, you've got this little shape of a hand, and then on this side it's a finger, a thumb, and then this comes over here and goes around the wrist and then down. So here might be a little bit too much showing, but we'll leave it for now because you can always change it. And the wrist, you see, you get that lovely wrist there, nice and dark, and then the shape of that arm. So this is the elbow and this is dark, and it goes into there, and then we get the angle of the fabric. Okay, so we're looking at now 1 head, 2 head, 3 head to the top of the leg. So 3 heads are there, and there. 1, let's do it again. 1, 2, the rest, 3 heads. So be 2.5. That's about, take it down into this. So that should be about where the leg is going to be. So the fabric comes off, hits this leg, and then comes down like that. So again, make sure you keep the fabric higher than the leg, because it has its own thickness. Yeah, it doesn't just sit on the leg; it sits up. And then we get a top of a leg, and then a knee, which is kind of bony, and then we can see the inside of a calf muscle, and then we've got the negative shape here between the leg and then the dirtness. Okay, blend it. It doesn't matter if things disappear, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, we'll have this, make this a little bit bigger. Get rid of these marks now. Some artists leave the marks in. This shoulder might be a little bit too wide, so I think it is actually. That's what's pulling my arm out. So it should be there. Okay, keep adjusting. It's fine. You can just, excuse me, in the negative space if you have to. Just adjust the background shape. Okay, and we leave that, and then I've got a screw, this triangle shape, top of the leg, and the fabric, which is kind of coming from here, goes down here, you get a big V shape there, which is quite dark, and then this bit, you can just see shadow there. Okay, and then we'll move out some light bits. So that is the thickness of a shoulder. It's where a hair is actually sitting on the shoulder as well. So we've got that lovely shape. Alright, so we'll get some tissue, got a little bit ready here. You can make your own rolled up piece of paper. Yeah? So you just get a piece of paper and then move out the light bits. So just screw it up. We can use this on her hair as well because it's a little bit lighter. And then forehead, tortillon, that's the word, isn't it? Bit of a tortillon that actually you're buying from the shops, not it? You're buying from the art shop. It's just a rolled up piece of paper. You can make your own actually, but you know, I don't want to do the art shop. So you make your own or just buy one. Well, that's all it is. A little bit of tissue paper, screw it up till you get a nice point. You can do detail with it, especially with something this size, you know. And then we do the detail around the face. So we're just removing some of that charcoal, like that, the bottom lip and things like that, and keeping it really kind of simple. Don't do too much detail in that face. Can you see? You want that lovely shape, and that's it. And then we've got the neck here, which is quite light as well. Look, when you're doing the neck, look at the shape of other things like tendons in the neck, this light area that's the collarbone, the way it turns around her hair like that, slightly different tonal value. Okay, and then this comes into the shoulder, which again is quite light. We can blend that, yeah, blend that. We'll take the colour off again, the tonal values off. You're not taking the colour off, you're taking the tonal values off the tissue. Look at the light catching this arm, yeah, there. So you want to just remove that light area there. And then as you get to the elbow, you get a little bit of light as well. When you get to the hand, I've got an itchy nose. When you get to the hand, so this is the collarbone, and then here we've got the shape of the shoulder underneath. Just blend that a little bit, soften it. Then we've got the light on the fabric. And we've got the thumb. The thumb's there, light's catching the side of a hand, and then it comes this way and goes into that finger. And then this is a knuckle, and then I've got another knuckle and another finger. Like that. Don't try and put the other finger in at the moment, just keep it flat like that. We're going to use a rubber in a minute to bring out the lighter tones. Okay, just keep it a flat tone and keep the hand thin enough, elegant enough, rather than being too big. And then do the same over this side. Get our gilded piece of paper, roll up piece of paper, more light over here, going into the shoulder, blend it a bit. Yeah, you have to blend because it's charcoal. Get this lovely tendon going down the neck there like that, quite a bit of light. Then the shoulder again. Coming down just a little bit, and then a bit of light in the middle there just to bring it out. I think I've got charcoal dust. You're missing the head, aren't you? How's that? I think I broke my easel. Go backwards. So it's a good job I'm finishing for a bit because everything's falling to bits except for me. Anyway, got the light on the we got the light on the figure and the head. That's the main thing. This is a little bit darker actually, but we'll put the rubber in. Then we've got the light on the back of the hand there, and the finger there, and the fingers here. Don't try and do the shapes of anything. Got a nice dirt there at the side of that where the thumb is, and then we're coming into the wrist, which is a flat bit like that. Blends into the hand. Keep squinting, yeah? And then we can, the next shape we get is this lovely light of the fabric, like that. We get some here as well. Yeah. Beautiful light here, around the thigh. Take some off here as well because that's top of the leg, the side of the hand, the leg, and the shape of the calf muscle. We'll use that in a bit. And then here as well we need to take the light off there. I'm just taking the dust off really, and then I can use my my rubber to remove a lot of the light, a lot of the contrast. Okay. And then on this side you've got some swirly bits. Again, same thing. Use the rubber there. And then here we've got the light catching the fabric as it goes down. Look it up. Don't forget the top of her eyelids, because she's got her eyes closed, but the light's catching them, so just take off a little bit of a curve at the top and then around the mouth as well, so you filter them a bit, side of the jawline, keep the face simple as that. Look it up. Now I'll use the rubber, so you get the rubber eraser. We can go around her hair, because she's got this lovely kind of highlight at the back, side of her jaw, like this. Again, I don't want too much of a dark line here. That's the neck muscle that comes into the shape of top of the shoulder. A little bit of light there, not too much. It takes that shoulder out, like that, and we can blend it. So most of the light's at the top. You can just see that the shape of the neck here, tendons in the neck, yeah, just like that. And then the fabric. So the fabric's quite interesting because it gives you the shapes of her fingers then. So yeah, so you've got this lovely highlight on it, and that gives you the shape of her hand as well. It goes underneath the arm. This is all of it. The top of the shoulder is quite light, and then it goes very light here. You've got an angle kind of thing, which blends into the rest of the figure. Then we've got the shape of the muscle on that arm, which blends in. And then this muscle comes out, you see. So when you draw things, it's just a line to show you the position of something. It's not set in stone, you move things. Yeah. So like I'm doing here, I drew the shape of that arm, but now I'm looking at the light catching it, so I'm working within my lines, if you know what I mean. So this lovely light coming up here now to this wrist. Again, this is quite a different tone. I've got a lovely kind of curve here where the fabric's curving like that. And then we've got the thumb and the side of the thumb. Again, it's getting a lot of light, and then you get the gap there, which is not very bright, not very light, and then the shape of that finger. Okay, that's all you can see. It does go a little bit that way, and then the other finger there, and then the knuckle, because knuckles always catch the light, and then we've got something here, but that's going off, so we can put the back of a hand about here. Okay, and then we do the negative space underneath the hand, like that, which is the shape of the shiny fabric, isn't it? You see? So keep this nice blend, nothing too, don't have it too bright, too dark. Just having a look at the head as well. Sorry, I've not done this bit. So we do need to put in the shape of the eyes, and the eyebrows, and the shape of the head. Again, it goes across top of the eyebrow, then they get a light on her nose, which blends into the rest of her face, tip of her nose, nostril, this side of her face, which is Rembrandt's triangle, gives you the shape of her face, corners of her eye, just like any portrait we do the same principle. Okay, and it's the light on the cheekbones and around the nose and the top lip that brings out everything else. So get your rubber and cut it in half so you get a nice hard edge, and you can use that to draw with. Just take the lights off the face, and then when we fix that, so you've got a lovely face. The wrist on this hand is quite light, and the knuckles here and there, like that. Just take the lights off. That's it. And that blends into the rest, just leaving bits of information, nothing too much. And then here we've got this lovely highlight, comes all the way down from there, which is this bit. Then we get to the knee and the leg, so we go highlight. See, when we use the cloth later, we'll go through that purple to the whites of your figure, of the gesso underneath. So it will still be there, and it will still be the same colour, but you'll have highlights. Yeah, so it's like the back of that calf muscle now is very strong. That's what makes the leg stand out. And then you've got the fabric here. Again, it's higher than the leg because it's sat on top. Like that. It goes around the other side and it comes this way. And then we've got a bit of reflected light there. And then this goes off down here. Very strong light. Like that. This beautiful kind of highlight, satin or silk, like that. This is quite dark inside, but getting a bit of reflection, a bit of a triangle shape there. Nothing much. This is very strong, so we're going to rub more off, and then here we're getting this bit, so we're getting this bit that's quite light as it blends into the rest. And then here again, the fabric. Nice highlights, going this way, going that way, and then this one is off the picture. So we can use this as well, brings out the negative space of the elbow. Okay, we can't see this one, it's actually disappearing, but you can make it look like there's something there if you want to. Okay, don't do too much to this, just keep this flat area of the forehead and the nose, transfer them in. Then we're ready to spray. And we're ready to spray the eyes. Very simple. Okay? We can do the eyes again. Stand back. Look at proportion. We can redraw if you want to. Quite happy with that, really. A little bit of light off this muscle and let it blend into the rest of her arm. Excuse me. And then the forearm is just a flat tone. Excuse me. I've had some dinner and it's repeated. A flat tone, the back of her hand and things like that. We can use some compress. I'm a bit dubious about using it yet. We've got the light on top of the hair on this side as well, which when it hangs down it creates this shape. So that's quite nice. And in the forehead, so I'll keep the forehead nice and high, the shape of the face as well, and the neck. And that's it, that's the light catching things. So when we put in the dark shapes, look at the eye, and it's got this lovely dark in the corner, nostril, corners of the mouth, the shape of the forehead, cheekbone, and the hair. This is compressed. Got a nice negative space here, which is a dark bit under that chin. Okay. the side of this fabric goes in and out. It goes under her arm, but it's kind of in and out. This is where you can see the dark against that arm as this comes around, and it goes darker then. So we can blend that in a little bit. It goes darker around the shape of the elbow. And then this one into the fabric. That brings out that arm. I've got some nice shadowy bits here, mainly where the hand is, and it goes into these folds in the fabric. And then this one as well is quite dark as it comes around, and in here it goes dark. Okay. This brings another depth to your picture. You can bring out the shoulder as well, and the hair. Bring out that hair. This is a big negative here, but I don't want to block it in because it's I want it to blend a bit before I fix it. Get up and spray it, hairspray. Stand back. I'll do a bit more actually. I'll just do this fabric here, casting a shadow on a leg. It's quite interesting because it goes wider there, you can see. And then it drapes off, and then the back of a calf muscle is quite dark as well, and the top of her leg here is quite dark, with the knees. You can let that disappear. And that's all you need. You don't have to draw the whole knee. You know? People are drawing things, but you don't need to. No spray, stand back, fix. I'm going to spray the whole thing, and then mainly where I've got compressed charcoal. I will be coughing now. Drink of water. Stand back. Drop that a bit. You can see it all right. I might drop my easel a little bit because I think you're missing the top of her head a bit. Oh yeah, that's better. And then touch it. Touch it with a clean finger. Clean your finger. One of them. Dry it off. And then touch the compressed bit. Now that's coming off, so I need to spray that. I usually find where it's darker and thicker, it doesn't fix it as well. So you just give it a bit more effort. Okay. And then I'm going to glaze. So I think I might use actually some alizarin. There's alizarin and yellow mate orange, and then we've got this other shape. I don't decide what's taking in a little bit as well. Just the angle of the shoulder and the angle of the arm. Not done the background yet. Just got that little negative space because this should be about here. Okay, so the arm and the side of that arm should be down about, not same, but not far off. Okay, so I got my alizarin crimson, and I'm going to, with my blue, I don't want to mix it with that. Bit of, not a lot, Pick some water up, mix it with your alizarin, okay, and then we can go either all the way down or whatever. So if we go all the way down, again, don't keep scrubbing. It doesn't matter about the background. And then we've got this lovely light hot hitting the figure. I might put some yellow in that to just warm it up a bit. Again, yellow and alizarin. Yellow and purple. It's probably very, very runny and shiny that, you won't be able to see anything. So get your big brush, blend it, get rid of the drips. Okay? Get rid of the drips, get them going in another direction. Now I have missed bits intentionally. Okay, so I've warmed things up and I've also missed things just to see what happens really. Get your brush, see this again wet now, just drag it away. And we'll dry it off, stand back, she's there honest. She's there. Stand back. What's that? And we'll dry it off. So again, just the air dryer. Don't want any runs in the figure. That's dry. That's dry. That's okay. Damp cloth time. Where's my damp cloth? That's it. Clean your hands. See, some of the, because I've only done it in certain areas, this tool now is not some parts of the figure back, but it's also, I've left some, you see. So I'm interested to see what actually happens when I start to remove tonal values in those areas. You know? It's always an experiment, but it's nice to play about with things instead of being too precise. You don't want to be too precise. You never know what will happen. Okay, so again, I'm using the cloth to give these lovely kind of mid-tones and highlights really. So I'm taking off some of that colour. It goes a little bit lighter in the background, can you see? And then I've got a little bit on top of the head. There. And then the hair as it falls. Just here. And then that. Just a shape, like a triangle shape. And then we go up to, again, the forehead. And above the eyebrows and the shape of the forehead and the flatness of it. Just removing tones slowly, yeah. Where you see the light bits, where you see the light catching things. Very, very subtle changes. The nose, for instance. That cheek. You might not be able to see me, but I'm just standing in front to get the shape of the cheek. It's a straight line really. And the nose, tip of the nose, inside the eye, cheekbone. Yeah. side of the nose, top of the top lip. And you get this lovely kind of soft feeling to the face, don't you? You've got this these lights, you know? And the bottom lip, and the softness around the mouth. Yeah, although you can't do detail too much, it makes you just look for those little areas that are slightly lighter. Okay, in there, so you got a bit in the neck, and then. And you're always allowed to go over something that you've already drawn. And the idea is to make it start to appear from the background. Okay. We can also lose some of the in the background. So keep standing back. And don't forget, if you want something to look lighter, you put something darker next to it as well, so later on I can use some more compressed charcoal. Yeah. So at this stage, just look at the shapes. Tendons in the neck, like that, and then the shoulder, because it's going lighter. But this is a lovely light shape, but it's not, this is the lightest part, right on the top of that shoulder, and as it comes down it goes out of it. We blend in the rest of the figure. And then we do the same here. So this is this arm. It's just bringing out the shape of the forearm there, so it's going a little bit lighter, that's all. And then we get the shape of the finger, so finger, finger, knuckle, finger, finger, knuckle, hand, and see, it just starts to appear. So we'll all be trying this now when we take a break. Might be summer break, might not be, might be forever, I never know. I have enjoyed my online sessions. Found it very difficult at the beginning, but I've had to learn. So that's been good, yeah. So I won't say I want to finish them all together, because I have a feeling I might be going back to them at some point. Never know. Hand, lovely softness of the hand and the knuckles, you can see, like that. The light catching it, and then the negative space around the back here. We've got that fabric. It's giving you the shape. It's also got a lovely fabric, very strong highlight here, because that's where the fabric is. I'm going to use some white pastel over the top of that later to bring out this these folds and these highlights in the fabric. So you just leave a lot of the dark creases, that's all. Alright. So this is this lovely kind of shape. It's a bit lighter there. It's a bit darker there. So this shoulder. Okay. This side of her face is a little bit darker. That's all. In that eye. Eyelid. I haven't put a eyebrows in. I don't really think you need to, you know. I know you like your eyebrows, you ladies, but I'm just going to leave them. There's a bit there, which is the other side of the. Yeah. So I quite like this as it is. I might actually not do the whole thing. So the knuckles on that hand, it just brings out that lovely shape, the negative space of the shoulder. There. That's all. And then here, that highlight on the cloth, which is going from gold to purple. Then I got some interesting kind of shapes here, and the way the light catches. Again, we're using white pastel for some of these lovely kind of folds. Like that. Okay. That's nice and light because that's part of the leg. That's part of the top of the leg. The fabric on the leg makes it come forward and disappears into that nothingness at the bottom of your picture. It's quite interesting now. I do like the nothingness. Folds. It is a great way of doing fabric, this. I do like. Even if you've not got things in the right place, it still looks like fabric, you know. That gives it a lovely softness. You can start doing patterns and things over the top once you get the shiny bit out of the way. That's that arm, which is going to get a little bit lighter, and we're going to lighten some of these as well. That elbow, great band. And then the leg. Don't forget, don't do too much. Squint, look where the light's catching the most, and press on a bit more. So that muscle there is getting squashed a bit because she's got a leg on a chair or a stool. So it's actually protruding a little bit there. That's what's giving you that shape. And then this is the calf muscle, which goes down to her ankle, which we can't see. If you wanted to put the front of the calf in, could do. We want to make the knee quite a big area because it's quite bony, your knee. Okay. So you've got these little shapes that are like bony knees. There's something here, but I'm not putting it in. I'll just leave that. And then I'm going to redefine some of that light and dark. Okay. Compressed charcoal again. Look for the shadows. And just emphasise them. You see? Don't do it everywhere. Do not do it everywhere. We just bring out little bits of information. It's kind of like the bits in between the fingers there, you know, that disappear. And the bit between that finger and this finger that disappear. The eyes. So we've got really lovely darks under the eyelids there. Yeah, you can soften the edges. The nose. You can't see the nostrils, but we'll put a little line in. And then the corners of the mouth, again, middle muscle, just to give it that lovely shape. And the hair, because you've knocked it back, so when you start to do the dark shapes again, it brings it out again. So be careful when you get to a block of tone, but you don't do too much. And then we've got the parting in her hair there, which is quite dark. Yeah. And then the shape of the hair coming down. We can blend this. And this lovely kind of cheekbone coming down from the forehead. Put an eyebrow in if you want, just a little bit. See, I've succumbed. Just bring out the shape. Keep faces angular. Keep chins angular, I mean. Nice big dark shape then. And then we can bring out a kind of arm, if you want to, at the top. Let that blend into a negative space up there. So it's bringing out the shoulder, and then you've got the shape of that. Here as well, you've got this lovely angle. Yeah. Brings out that arm. Again, where the fabric goes into under the arm, got these little curvy bits, and then a crease like that. You can see. The bit between the thumb and the fingers. And then the highlights, the light, the darks coming from the creases in the fabric. Like that. I'm just going to bring out this side of the arm so it stands out a bit. So we've got this lovely kind of dark shape there and here. Put the line in and blend it. Okay, and then this one. Like that. Where it hits the knee and the leg. Like that. Top of the leg. Little bits of info. Back of this hand. Back of the arm, I should say. Beautiful. Creases. Sharp creases in places. Soft ones in others. Just makes the fabric change direction. You see? Stand back. A hair. Back of this knee. And the calf muscle. Okie doke. Any kind of, I could carry on with the the cloth actually, and I could glaze it and start using paint, or I could just carry on rubbing out, because once you start to get some of the values in the other places, you start seeing where it's slightly too dark or too light and things like that. So you can start removing a little bit more then, so you're going back to the white underneath the gesso, underneath the paint, You know? So I do need to put the fabric in. So because it's pure white, and she's actually hold of it, so probably disappearing a bit there, but then it picks out the shape of her fingers, can you see? Like that. And it's the folds, it's not, you stand back as well. So look at the folds around the hand, soften the edges and bring some out. So this is a nice shape, like a dirt shape there, see? And we go across the finger there, and around. These are what bring out the shapes. And if you get them in the right place, it looks like fabric. Well, nearly in the right place. So this is white pastel, just bringing out some of these lovely curves and shapes in the fabric. We fix it again, don't forget. And you can varnish white pastel, it'll stay. And then we look at the lights catching things, like that for instance, that, here, okay, yeah. You don't really have to do the skin tones, you can rely on removing the tone body. We soften areas because it's probably in the shadows, so they're not as bright, but they are catching the light. You've got the sheen on it. You see? Gives that lovely sheen. Still see the colour as well underneath, and the top of the leg. Okey-doke. Beautiful lights around the figure. Back of her knee, probably. Like that. Corners. Lights catching her arm, for instance. Just a bit, not a lot. Just be careful. Top of her eyebrows. Bottom of the eyelid. Inside of her eye. Tip of the nose. If you don't like it, you just rub it out. This is the beauty of it. And then the cheekbone. And the jawline. Side of here. Side of the neck. Okay. Filter them. Bottom there. Chin. Around the nose. See, we don't really want to lose colour, so as you start blending you start getting kind of grey tones. The neck. And then here. soften it with your finger. These really nice kind of highlights, reflected lights as well, coming from the other side of the picture. And it's giving this three-dimensional effect. So we use that lovely reflected light at the back to bring out that arm. In her hair as well, little bits of info. Same here. That's about it really. Again, we can bring out this lovely light on her arm, knuckles. Not a lot. Not a lot. Yep. Under hair. Right, I'm going to call it a day, I think. Always better turn it at wall, look at it tomorrow, and if it needs anything else, have a bit of reflection on that side of the face, glaze it, spray it. See, that's standing out too much. This should be stronger because it's part of the face. Okay. We'll strengthen this eyelid. Spray it, varnish it. Yeah? See, things like this are really important. Don't overdo these shapes. Side of that hand. The boniness on the wrist, the reflected lights that disappear into shadows at the wrist there. Okay. I do enjoy doing these. You can paint the background, you can do whatever you like. You can splatter it, you can varnish it, you can carry on glazing to your heart's content. Just bring those fingers out of it. See, I'm in the zone now. When I go quiet, I've gone. I'm in the zone. Really, I should be coming out of it. Tell you the truth. I put a bit too much white pastel on. So I'm going to go about the light rather than use the white. The transparency. just use bits of it. Okay. Nice that. I like the way it's left unfinished. That's what we aim for. I'll take the tape off. It's the old paper. Nice border. I do cut the border off when it's thoroughly dry. Just so that. Nice sharp crisp edge, and then you can put your mount around it afterwards. Stand back. Right, there you go, thank you. Thanks for watching, have a go, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not sure who we're painting the style of yet, but I'll put something on later if I can. If not, it'll be tomorrow morning early. I'm going to start at 12 anyway, so you know what time I'm there. So that should be okay. But the colours work quite well actually. It's still got the purple. And it's still got the yellow, so that's kind of working quite well. You know, you could have bits of lines kind of breaking out from places and softening areas, so it kind of makes it more interesting. You know, just a bit of a line, nothing to don't draw too much. That's the thing. It's just a dark shape. Okay, I'm going to fix it. Let me fix it. I'll call it a day. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.